wax is shiny.
Now you can have that look, even when it's dry.
It's easy with CoverGirl Nail Slicks, the amazing nail color that slicks on rich with a shine that never lets go.
Nail slicks strengthen, too, so nails feel strong, last long. My nails look wet, even when they're dry.
CoverGirl Nail Slicks.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central, Mork becomes invisible.
Fun's fun, joke's over.
And loses Mindy.
Oh, Mindy's married.
And Stanley floats an insurance policy.
He should be insured for his full value as a husband.
On the Ropers.
As little as that?
Right after Mork. Then Joe Kidd does 3 things well. The second is Stay Alive.
Straight up or draped over the saddle, either one.
The third is Get Even. Clint Eastwood is Joe Kidd.
Sunday on ABC.
This is the rock group called KISS, and this is one of their bizarre performances, a performance that has created a market for related products that brings in over $100 million a year in sales. The 4 members of the group never perform in public or appear for interviews without the makeup that masks their identity. Some critics say they are more successful at making money than at making music. But over the past 5 years, they have garnered hundreds of thousands of fans, many of them youngsters who dress like the band and who come hand in hand with their parents to buy KISS products and watch the almost nightmarish performance.
There's something special coming from us. We're stars.
We only think about getting up on stage and rocking and rolling every night and making sure that everybody knows who we are.
We'll space that.
This is a family. A family portrait. Look at this. How'd you like kids that look like this in America?
You might if their gross sales topped 1,500 companies listed on the stock exchanges.
Since this has turned into big business, we can't make, arbitrary decisions without talking to people who really have the facts. So we sit down with people with suits and ties who are hired by us to look after us.
In 1978, retail sales involving KISS were approximately $117 million. The $117 million represents retail record sales of approximately $60 million. KISS merchandising sales of about $40 million, and the balance in songwriting royalties, franchising, merchandising, and other income of that sort. Incidentally, we just closed a deal last week where we purchased 196 acres in Cincinnati, Ohio, where KISS will build an industrial park. However, in this case, it will not be known as the KISS Industrial Park.
We try and get around $1 a head based on the attendance. If we're going to a hall that seats 12,000 people, we generally try and bring about $12,000 worth of merchandise into the hall. Best-selling items are definitely T-shirts and programs.
80, 90, $299.
Here's the best buyers are the little kids that bring their parents to the show. If mom and dad come, mom and dad have a pocket full of money, and the little kids get whatever they want.
I want a shirt with some inside KISS. You want a what? It says KISS.
I need more money.
You want a what? Well, I thought you were just getting a program.
What?
I want a program, is all I want.
If the programs are $5, you got 2. KISS could send half of Harlem to Harvard on their T-shirt sales alone. They definitely have the market locked up on belt buckles and posters and that kind of thing. There are a lot of other rock and roll bands who sell more records, but KISS definitely is #1 in merchandising. KISS is basically paganism for pubescents. It has very little to do with music. If you listen to it closely, what it is all dissonance and explosions and moaning, which pretty well sums up the adolescent experience in America.
claims it cost $1.5 million to stage this extravaganza designed to titillate, astonish, and revolt the audience. Gene spits blood and fire. Ace's guitar bursts into flames. And Paul wiggles and prances. It's the 4th of July and Halloween wrapped into one. A circus, but without elephants.
Evaluate KISS no higher than they rate themselves, which is mediocre.
I think the only thing that's silly about a reviewer that's going to put down our show, some people say we can't play, but there's no way you can ignore, 20,000 screaming fans.
KISS manager Bill O'Coin, who owns the merchandising operation, put $250,000 into the group 5 years ago, but his initial investment, like their music, has been amplified many times over. KISS's decibel level is higher than that of the controversial Concorde.
KISS can go on for as long as they want to, in my opinion. It's rough for them, maybe rougher than other groups, only because they have to contend with a complete stage show every single night. They have to contend with the makeup every day. They have to contend with a more grueling show.
Maybe we should get it tattooed to our faces so it never comes off. Because you see 50-year-old guy in a suit and tie.
Yeah, I was
sitting there.
Actually, what I do to protect myself is to dress up like Doris Day.
Well, I grew up in a really tough neighborhood, and it was all gangs, and instead of playing stickball, I'd be practicing drums, and a lot of them now, I guess, are in Sing and digging ditches and all. They used to make fun of me. Instead of coming down and playing baseball, I'd be practicing and writing and singing.
Well, I grew up in the Bronx in a middle-class family, and I went through that whole trip of hanging out in the corner candy store, going to the park and drinking beer with the guys and gang fights and all that stuff. Most of my friends from when I was young are either in jail or dead or straightened out. Rock and roll actually saved my life.
I never wanted to be a cab driver. I never wanted to be an accountant. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be beautiful, long hair, eternally young. That's me.
When I'm on stage, I feel invincible. I feel beautiful. I feel needed by masses, and I'm proud of myself. I think when you perform and you're not turned on by what you're doing, it's time to quit. I'm my best audience, because when I do something that I find really pleasing, I'll laugh or I'll pat myself on the back, because I think when I'm good, there's nobody better.
We've always contended that we were going to be the biggest thing that ever was on this planet.
That's one great thing about making it. You could take care of your family, which you should, and I could do that now. So that's great about success. Kind of personal, but it's true.
When I graduated college, I had gone into teaching because initially I thought I wanted to convey knowledge, but I really didn't. It was purely ego infatuation. I thought if I got in front of people that I'd have a captive audience, and that's really the wrong reason to be a teacher. So I quickly got out of that. I taught for about 6 months in a public school system in Spanish Harlem, and I soon realized that I didn't want to teach. I simply wanted to be on stage, and I wanted people to look at me and listen to every single utterance that comes out of my precious mouth.
They call me Dr. Love. I got the peculiar thing of love. Yeah. Call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. I got the peculiar thing of love.
word starts to lose its credibility. But in this case, it fits well. Alan Alda is many things. He's a fine actor. He's written a number of the MASH scripts. He also has directed. And he has written and is starring in a new film called The Seduction of Joe Tynan, which he wrote. Would you welcome Alan Alda? Yeah.